Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. It is so nice to have you here today. Today you are joining me for a advanced inversion / arm balance yoga practice. We're going to be moving through poses like handstand, crow, maybe a one-legged crow attempt, and other fun poses and transitions. It's going to be quite powerful, quite advanced, so I would say a minimum requirement for this class would be maybe a crow pose and at least no fear of being on your hands. So if you can hold a crow, then this one is great for you. And it doesn't have to be a perfect crow pose or anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You do not need any props for the practice. If you are used to using them for your arm balances, please have them nearby. The only thing that we will be using today is the wall. So make sure you have a wall near. If you don't have a wall, the back of the couch is perfectly fine as well. All right, that is all I wanted to say. We are going to get started in child's pose, facing the wall. So let's make our way, knees wide apart, big toes together. And forehead rests down on the mat. Let's start by taking a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. Now, I love starting in child's pose because you're really grounded and connected to the earth. So I would like to bring your attention to the mat beneath you, feeling the support of the floor, the support that holds you every single day throughout your whole entire life, whether it be on your feet or on your hands. Notice the texture of the mat beneath your fingertips. And just feel the general weight of your body resting down on the floor. And we're going to slide the right arm underneath the left shoulder, threading the needle, taking 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, let's make our way back to child's pose. And then left arm slides underneath the right shoulder. And coming back to child's pose, inhale. Let's walk our way back to the knees. So hands come all the way back to the knees. And we're going to bring those knees together. Hands come on top of the knees. As you breathe in, let's pull the chest through the arms, gaze up. And then exhaling, rounding the spine, straightening the arms and leaning back. Inhaling to open. Exhaling to round. And inhaling to open, focusing on squeezing shoulder blades together. Exhaling, separating the shoulder blades. And one more time, round the spine. And then inhale, let's make our way back to a neutral spine, reach the arms above the head. Let's interlace the hands, but press the palms of the hands up, and then try to bring the arms behind your ears, squeezing the lower ribs in. Take a little side bend to the right. Inhale, come up through center, and then take a little side bend to the left. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, release, shake the arms out. And coming into tabletop, let's start to tuck the toes and just move around, circling over the wrists. We're obviously going to be putting quite a lot of weight on our wrists, so the wrist warm-up is incredibly important. Let's turn the fingers out to the sides and start to rock side to side. And again, you can continue circular motions in one direction and the other. And then let's come back through center. Let's turn the fingers so they point towards the knees and start to rock back and forth. Just as much as feels okay. Of course, you can also just stay still here. And then we're going to turn the hands the other direction. So 360 degrees, turning the fingers inwards. It feels really awkward. Just go as far as you can. It doesn't have to be as far as when you turn the hands outwardly. And once again, you can either stay still or kind of move. And we never do this one, so definitely not something your body is probably used to. And then let's come back through center. Let's turn the fingers towards each other. Backs of the hands are against the mat, and then just squeeze the fists and open the palms. Squeeze, open. Squeeze, open. One more squeeze as hard as you can. And release. Come back to tabletop. Tuck the toes. Let's make our way into downward facing dog, and you can start to move around, bending and straightening the legs. Good. And then we'll start to do a few rounds of rolling dog. So breathing out, rounding your spine into high plank. Breathing in, arching the back, pulling into down dog. Exhale, round high plank. Inhale, back to downward facing dog for 3. 2. With your breath. And one more. Good. From downward facing dog, let's come high on the toes and start to walk your feet all the way up to the hands, staying really high on the tippy toes, trying to bring your feet as close as possible to your hands. Good. And then once you get as close as you can, stay here and bring all the weight into your hand. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the heels, bend the knees a lot, grab opposite hand to opposite elbow, and let's sway the upper body side to side. Now releasing the hands down, inhale, halfway lift, find length. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find length. Exhale to fold. One more halfway lift. Now let's keep the right hand on the mat. Bend your right knee, left arm reaches up to the sky. Either left arm keeps reaching up, or you can bend your left elbow behind the back, opening up the chest. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, let's switch. Bend the left knee, right arm reaches up. Maybe bend the right elbow behind your back. Good. And then right hand comes all the way back down. Let's bend the knees a lot. Inhale, roll up high mountain, reaching the arms above the head. Now we're going to bring the hands either flat against the wall, or if you have a little edge like me, on the edge, and just sink back. So either flat against the wall, and we pull the hips back, chest towards the wall, or just like me, pulling the chest down. Two more breaths. Slowly, let's roll all the way back up to high mountain. Right hand will hold the left wrist. Let's side bend to the right. Inhale, come up through center. Left hand holds right wrist, side bend to the left. Inhale, center, come high on your toes. Exhale, come all the way down, hips to heels, and we will make our way into a boat pose. Engaging the core, also super important for any arm balance. So in low boat, let's come into high boat. For 10, maybe the arms are above the head. 9, 8. See if you can touch your hands behind your legs. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hold low boat. Lift the right leg up high, arms reach up, and then try to touch your right foot for 20. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides for 20, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not going to count for the last 10, 8, 7. Oh, God. And then let's come onto the mat, knees into the chest. Let's start to rock back and forth. And each time we're going to stabilize boat. So rocking back, stabilize boat. 3 more. And last time, let's hold high boat for 5, maybe straightening the legs, 4, maybe arms reach up, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come all the way back down to the mat. Both legs stay up in the air. Last little ab exercise. Let's reach the arms above the head and then slowly lower the legs. And then let's bring the feet as close as possible to the hands without momentum. And then all the way back down for 5. Keeping the middle back grounded. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Bringing both knees into your chest. Let's start to rock back and forth into a high plank. So crossing over the shins, planting the hands, step back, high plank. Lower, halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. Now, just to release a little bit of that tension we built up in the abs, we're going to take 3 rounds of sun salutation A. Inhale, come high on the toes, bend the knees, look forward, step or float, try to float nice and high. Halfway lift top of the mat. Exhale to fold. High mountain rise. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant the hands, step or float back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, come high on the toes, look towards your hands, bend the knees, step or jump. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. High mountain rise. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Bend the knees, step or float back. Chaturanga. And 1 more deep breath in, come high on the toes. Bend the knees, look forward, step or float. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. High mountain rise. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Now let's plant the hands. Let's take a crow pose and we'll hold it for 10 breaths. So let's hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Malasana, yogi squat. Shifting the weight from one foot to the other, maybe rolling out the wrists. Good. Now let's reach the right arm out underneath the right knee, left arm reaches up to the sky. Maybe roll out your left wrist. Now as you breathe out, let's come back through center. Left arm reaches underneath the left knee. Right arm reaches up, maybe circling the right wrist. And then both hands come back through center. Now we're going to come back into crow pose 5 times, each time returning to malasana. If you're too close to the wall, of course, you can take a step back. Hands come on the mat, come into crow, and then immediately back to malasana 5 times. For 4. 3. 2. And then on 1, we will jump back, chaturanga. So kicking the legs behind you, sliding through upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Right leg rises, breathe in. Let's bend the right knee, open up the hip. Either stay here or flip your dog, wild thing, if you feel like that will feel nice right now. And from here, we're going to step the right foot to the top right corner of the mat. Keep the right arm in the air. As you breathe out, right hand tries to touch the left knee underneath the body, so threading the needle. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale to thread. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale to thread. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, skandasana, side lunge on your right leg. Let's open up the arms. And then left hand comes back down on the mat. Pivot onto the outer blades of the feet. Both feet look towards the long side of the mat to your right. Right hand reaches towards the left foot to drop the hips. Inhale, stay on the outer blades of the feet. Lift the hips, right arm reaches over right ear for 3. Lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pivot, face the top of the mat, standing splits, left leg reaches up high. And let's hold for 5. Squeezing the left glute, trying to really lengthen through your left leg. Good. Keep folding over the right leg for 3 more breaths. And next exhale, let's step the left foot back, step the right foot back, 3-legged plank, 3-legged chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale, downward facing dog. Left leg rises, breathe in, bend the left knee, open up the hip. Wild thing, if that will feel good. And hold, feel free to touch the wall. Sometimes it can help to stretch deeper. And now lifting the left arm up, let's step the left foot to the top left corner of the mat and keep it there. Inhale, open up the chest to the left. Exhale, thread the needle for 3. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. Inhale, open. Exhale, skandasana on the left leg. Left arm reaches out to the left, right arm reaches up, open up the chest. And then once again, we pivot. Right hand comes down on the mat, pivot onto the outer blades of the feet. Left arm reaches towards the back of the mat, towards your right foot. Inhale, lift the hips, left arm reaches over left ear for 3. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, lift for 2. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift for 1. Pivot, face your left foot, frame it out, and then standing splits, right leg rises, hold for 5. Squeeze the right glute. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step back, 3-legged plank, chaturanga. All the way back to downward facing dog. Now from down dog, let's walk the hands all the way back to the feet. Deep breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees 90 degrees. Inhale, let's reach the arms towards the top of the mat. Come high on the toes And then sit the hips on the heels. Reach the arms up, balance. From here, crow pose. Bring both hands down on the mat and find your crow. And then from crow, let's try to bring the right knee into the chest, so lift it off the right elbow. And then come back to crow. Ooh, tricky. And then let's lower the feet. And then we'll do that one more time, lifting the left knee. So come into your crow. This time, bring your left knee in. Come back to crow. And then lower the feet. Let's circle out the wrists in one direction and in the other. One more little crow here. This time, make sure the knees are on the upper arm so you're not squeezing on the outsides. Make sure your legs are not too wet. So coming into your crow, we're going to try to tap the wrist with the feet. So tap and then lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. And roll out the wrists. Good. Both hands come down on the mat. Let's lift the hips, turn the toes in, heels out. Peace fingers wrap around the big toes. Deep breath in, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold forward. Two more breaths here. Trying to reach the crown of the head down towards the mat, making sure the weight is in the front parts of the feet. All right. Let's lift the chest. Plant the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Let's come high on the toes. Bring all your weight into your hands and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Heel toe the feet together. Walk the hands into high plank. And then let's come all the way down to the floor. Baby cobra, breathe in. Exhale to release. 2 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more, lift. And release. Tuck the toes, let's come through either high plank or child's pose or tabletop, all the way back to down dog. Remember, we're still gonna be on our wrists for quite a bit, so you can take breaks whenever you need. 3 breaths here. Maybe shaking out the head, maybe taking a deep cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. On your next inhale, right leg rises. Bend the right knee, open up the hip. Let's flip the dog wild thing. Breathe in. 1 breath, let's lower the hips. Inhale, come into 3-legged dog. Right leg in the air. Right knee to right elbow, with the option of coming into a 1-legged crow or at least setting up for it. So bringing the right knee just over the right elbow. Bending the elbows as if you're doing chaturanga, and then maybe floating your left leg up. Slowly step it back, right foot steps on the outside of your right hand. Taking your time with that one. I know it takes a little while. Let's drop the left knee whenever you're done, coming into a lizard stretch. Maybe shifting the weight side to side. So that means that if you're still working on the side, on the 1-legged crow, you can stay there longer. And when you're doing the 1-legged crow, it's important not to jump with the left leg, so the one that's floating. You want to bring your weight forward enough so that it just floats up, so you don't need to kick it up or anything. So yeah, really taking your time. All right. Tucking the left toes, let's lift the left knee. let's step forward into malasana. Inhale, stand up tall, straighten the legs, heel toe the feet together, interlace all 10 fingers except for the index fingers. Exhale, let's take a little back bend. Inhale, come back up through center and fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant the hands, step or jump back, chaturanga. Back to downward facing dog. Now left leg rises, bend the knee, open up the hip, wild thing. Breathe in. Exhale, one time, lower the hips. Inhale, lift the hips, come into three-legged dog. Now you might want to step that right foot a little bit closer, make it a shorter downward facing dog. Slightly turn your fingers out so that the index fingers are at least parallel to each other. And then let's make sure that we really round the spine, bring that left knee over the left elbow, and then maybe float the right leg up and step it back whenever you're ready. Good. And maybe today it's just bringing the weight into the arms without lifting the back leg, just finding that placement. It's a little bit tricky, especially with one arm, to find the place on the upper arms that feels good. Remember, good things come to those who wait. Not really wait, but to those who are not impatient. Let's come into a lizard lunge, dropping the right knee and then shifting the weight side to side. And now let's tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, step forward, malasana. Inhale, let's stand up tall, heel toe the feet together. And then we're going to just stand facing the wall. Take a little step back and extend your right leg out. So it needs to be able to touch the wall easily. Once you're touching the wall, let's keep the foot on the wall and pivot. So you're like in a warrior 3, facing away from the wall. Once you're there, hands come just beside the foot, and then let's lift the left leg and just extend it up. And let's hold this. And if you need to make any little adjustments, you can. Good. And maybe you play around with flicking the right foot off the mat, maybe finding balance. And we will slowly come back the same way we came in, bringing that left foot as close as possible to your hands, lifting the chest, pivoting around so that you're standing with the right leg extended. Lift the right leg, drop it down. Same on the left side. So left knee into the chest. So I know I need to step a little bit closer. It's okay if it has a little bit of a bend. Pivot, so you're doing a warrior 3 facing away from the wall. Hands come pretty much at the same line as your foot. You can always adjust depending on your body. Some people have longer or shorter legs. Lift the right leg, and then maybe play around with bringing a little bit of weight into the hands, off of your foot, maybe catching balance. And then the left foot comes back on the wall. Right foot, try to bring it as close as possible to your hands. Lift the chest. Pivot to face the wall. And then left foot lowers. And we're back where we started. Reach the arms up, high mountain. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's bend the knees, interlace the hands at the lower back, and then straighten the legs and lift the arms away from your back. Bring your chin into your chest. 5 breaths. And releasing the hands down. We have one more little handstand exercise. So take a deep breath in, halfway lift, and with a flat back, come all the way up to high mountain. Exhale, hands to the heart space. Now you have an easier option or a harder option. Easier is to stay at an L shape, or harder is to come really close, but we will start all together at the L shape. So make sure you have about the distance of a leg between you and the wall. Let's pivot to face away from the wall. Hands come down on the mat. And then let's walk the feet up and push the hips away, coming into a L shape. And let's hold that. If you want harder, bend the knees, untuck the toes, walk the hands as close as possible to the wall into a tucked position. And let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk the hands out and either jump down or cartwheel out. And we are done with our handstands. Let's come towards the top of the mat, whichever top of the mat you want, either facing the wall or facing away. Knees are bent into the chest, 1 vertebra at a time. Let's come all the way down to the back. Taking a moment in constructive rest, knocking the knees side to side. And since we've done a lot on our arms, we're going to stretch out the chest, the shoulders. So we're either doing a bridge pose or a full wheel if you feel like you're warm enough to go there. So bridge pose, just pressing into the heels, lifting the back off the mat. Or wheel, hands beside the ears, lifting on the crown of the head first, readjusting the hands, and then pressing up. Maybe playing around with the rocking back and forth. And only do what feels good for you at this moment. We're done really pushing ourselves. This is part of the cool down, so don't make it too intense. And we will slowly make our way back down to constructive rest. Closing the eyes, again reconnecting to the earth, that constant support beneath you. Feeling your weight on the earth, feeling the equal and opposite force keeping you up. And then let's bring both knees into the chest. And we will keep the right knee in, extend the left leg, and let's twist. And if there's any other leg variation that you prefer at this point, you can take that instead. Here, if you want to straighten your right leg, you can. Slowly make our way back through center. Hugging the left knee into the chest, extending the right leg. Taking the same variation of the twist that you took on the other side. Slowly coming back through center, hugging the knees. Let's take a deep breath in, lifting the forehead up to the knees. Hold and squeeze for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, shavasana. Let it go. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale to release. And noticing how alive your body feels right now. Feeling all the different cells buzzing and vibrating. Beneath the surface of your skin, there is constant movement. Imagining if you were to put yourself under the microscope, all the movement that you would see. Try to relax yourself so much. Try to allow the external world to melt away so much that you can actually feel like you're feeling all those little tingling and buzzing sensations, all that movement. And then remaining still overall. Just observing. You can stay here for as long as you want or as you need. When you do come out of shavasana, come out mindfully, quietly, with the eyes closed. And take a moment to sit in meditation, contemplating how your body is feeling, how your mind is feeling. You are capable of so much more than you think you are. I hope to leave you with that mantra, with that saying for the rest of your day. Hopefully it is something that you can think of. If there is, of course, any other intention that better suits how you are feeling today, please go with that instead. You can reach your arms above the head if you're sitting up. Exhaling the hands to the heart space. As you go forth into the rest of your day, may you have peace in your thoughts, may you have peace in your words, and may you have peace in your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. That was a super fiery and spicy inversions practice. It is a great one to come back to for building strength, whether it's in your crow poses or any other arm balance. Trust me, once you get those basics, the crow pose, nailed down, everything else becomes so much easier. I also want to say I have a little follow along with me handstand mini workout that I'm going to link down in the description below. So if you want, it is completely free and you can just click on the link and get it. All right, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you next week.